make a difference in the whole society. There's imbalance, the whole world is imbalanced. There's a small group makes the profit or makes a difference in the whole society. I remember a little story where a little boy was walking at the beach, and we have got a beautiful beach in Mangalore, number of beaches, and this boy was just walking across and always just throwing one starfish at a time and then moving around. There was an old man was looking at this boy and wondering, there are thousands of starfish at the beach there, and this boy is picking one by one. How many can he just pick and throw it back to the sea? And he asked him, why are you doing this kind of a foolish art? He said, he didn't say a word, he just moved ahead, picked another one and threw it to the sea and said, it makes a difference to this one. This boy made a difference, and I'm sure our Sarwin has made a difference to all of us with his art and way of thinking. It requires a lot of creativity and imagination at a young age to do all those things. Imagine something beyond what somebody can do it. And that is, I think, worth life of a human being, a small child. As Lawrence said, not the future. He himself is the future. I would say that he has brought it to us some kind of a unique art. And the parents, I'm sure, are very proud. And I know Mr. John from several years, and he has made a difference at St. Ignatius College. Hundreds and thousands of students that he has shown them the way in art. When they were good at it, he has trained them and also built them up. And I think that's the blessing that has come to the child, to the family. Mr. Sarwin also has done that. I'm sure this blessing will continue in the family, and then God will continue to bless them to make a huge difference in the society, so that all the students, whoever it is, stop wasting our time all the time, think about something passionately, doing something different. He has picked up something called KIRIGAMI, the paper art, the pop-up art, what he can think about, and others I'm sure can pick it up, this imagination, the architects, and build up this wonderful art and the future of it. Similarly, all of us students who are here, whoever is present here, I'm sure it is really creating an imagination for us that we can make a difference by just trying to do what we are, yet what is the gift that God has given to us. God has given a unique gift to each and every one of us. Can we just find out what is that God has given to us and start working at it and make this world a beautiful world and make a difference to everyone's life? I would like to once again congratulate you, Sarwin.
Perfectly spherical. Now what makes it to get this perfectly spherical shape? Or you see trees which are like cones. Nature knows how exactly to harness energy in the most efficient way. And our future is that. Our future is solar energy most of the time. And in case you have to install solar panels to efficiently have solar energy, we have to copy it. And this helps us. Because you see, when you fold it, it is two-dimensional. Transportation is very easy. When you open it, it becomes three-dimensional. My interest came here because when you are going to Mars or all those places in the future, this kind of constructions help us to transport material easily. You can keep them one above the other, and there when you open, it becomes a volume. So this is the potential that is there in space exploration and humans being designed to inhabit other planets and the satellites of other planets. That is why, Sarwin, you have to build a future. I will never say you have a great future. Future is built one painful idea at a time. You have to struggle a lot to pick one small idea. I have seen the great painters, how much of background work they do before they set out to do a painting. In colors, in structure and everything. So paint is really painful, and your life will be like that, but you will get achieved. So with these few words, I must again congratulate Sarwin and thank all of you for giving me a patient listening. Thank you very much.
ಅದೇನೆಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್  ಲೆಫ್ಟ್  ಹೆಮಿಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಮತ್ತು  ರೈಟ್  ಹೆಮಿಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಎರಡನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಮೈಗೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ವಿನ್ ಡಿಯಾನ್. ಸೊ ನಿಜವಾಗಿಯೂ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ವಿಷಯ ಅದು. ಇನ್ನು ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ, ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಅದು ಫ್ಲಾರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟೆಂಪೋ ಒಬ್ಳು ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್ ರೈಟರ್, ಅವರಿಂದಲೇ ಈ ಹೆಸರು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಬೈ ಹರ್. And in her book, she has written the title "The Kirigami: The Art of Paper Cutting" in 1962 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಅವರು 52 ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಫೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್, ಇದು ಆರಿಗಾಮಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಹಲವಾರು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಗಳಿದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಆರಿಗಾಮಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ Kirigami has something to do with the architectural creation, interior designing. ಇವತ್ತು ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಪಾಪಪ್ ಡಿಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್, ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಇನ್ 2 dimension ಇಸ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಪಪ್ ವಿತ್ ದ 3 dimension. ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಮೇಡ್ ಗ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳು, ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್, ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಇದು ತುಂಬ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಷಯ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದಂದ್ರೆ, Sadako and Sadako Sasaki and 1000 paper crane. ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ Sadako Sasaki and 1000 paper crane. ಎರಡನೇ ಮಹಾಯುದ್ಧ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೆರಿಕ ಆಟಮ್ ಬಾಂಬ್ ಸಿಡಿಸಿದ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿರೋಶಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸಡಾಕೋ ಸಸಾಕಿ ವಾಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ 1.5 years old. She was thrown out of the house because of the explosion. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಅವ್ರ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹುಡುಕಿ somehow she was survived without any major wounds or any other thing. But up to 11.5 years ವರೆಗೆ she survived. After when she was around 11th year, she started a kind of wart, some uneasiness in the body belly. It is diagnosed by the doctors. It is a leukemia.
When he came in the first year to college, first BSc, I didn't notice him much, even though him and another character called Pratik, they were as like 2 faces of the same coin. But then the way he moved about, I understood this gentleman has potential. And even though I knew his father from a very long time, I didn't know this gentleman is his son. I didn't make that connection till after the pandemic. The pandemic has brought about some deeper understanding and knowledge of connections. I appreciate his mind. He has got a fantastic intellect, and he and his friends are discussed on a daily basis among the staff in the department. What we do at Aloysius is we identify them at the first year, then we decide which student has to be given what kind of push in life. And the way we distribute our teachers in the department is also in a similar way. Okay, this particular aspect of this gentleman or this lady can be enhanced by this particular way. That is how the planning is done. And the department is a very interactive department. You can walk in at any time, sit on any table, work, and use our books in our small library that is there. Most of the time, I will be chatting with them and giving small pointers on how to do things. And very recently, he borrowed a book on symmetry, because when he does this, he has a great chance of working on symmetry groups in physics. That was the intention in giving you that book, and I believe that you have not opened it still. You have gone through it? Okay. You finished half of it. It's a very difficult book to go through. I took 5 years and he finished half of it. Fantastic. And I also gave it to Ashkin, I guess. He took that book. She is another brilliant person in our college. So your chance with this is immense, because if you look at the potential of this, it could come in the form of solar panels, you see, transportation of solar panels. See, the best
ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ವಿಷಯ ಇದು. ಅವರದ್ದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪ್ರಾಯ, ಹದಿಹರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಈಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೀನೇಜರ್, ಈ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದ ಟೀನೇಜ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸೊ. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರತರಾಗಿರುವಾಗ ಇವನೊಬ್ಬ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಜವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡುವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನಿಸೋದಿಲ್ವಾ, ಇದು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇಂಟ್ರಿಕೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಟ್, ತುಂಬ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಕೈಗೂಡುವಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗು ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಕಲಾ ಪ್ರಕಾರಗಳು ನಾವು ಚಿಕ್ಕನಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರುವಾಗ ಅದು ಕೈಗೂಡ್ತದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಸ್ಪೇಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೇಷಿಯಲ್ ರೀಸನಿಂಗ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಭಾಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. ಇದು 2 ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು 3 ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಎರಡು ಸಮ್ಮಿಲನ. ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಯು ನೋ ದ 2 ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬ ಅಗತ್ಯ. ಆ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ನ ಮೇಲೇ ಈ 3 ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಏರ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇದರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ, the process is based on its 2-dimensional plan as well as its 3-dimensional. Pop-up art ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿ ಅಂತ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದು ಆರಿಗಾಮಿಯ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿಯನ್ನು ಹೆಸರು ಬಂದಿರೋದೇ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ರೈಟರ್ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಫ್ಲಾರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಿಮ್ಕೋ ಅಂತ. 1962 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬುಕ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಿರಿಗಾಮಿ ಆರ್ ಆರಿಗಾಮಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಶಿ ರೋಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬುಕ್, ಸಡನ್ಲಿ the America has alert about this. So there are so many practices today. Everywhere you can see in the school curriculum also they added this kirigami, which is one of the most creative enhancing type of craft form it is. This one. ಅವರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಹಕಾರ ತುಂಬ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಸುಲಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಅವರ ಚಂದ್ರನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಮೇಧಾವಿ ಕಲಾವಿದರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಪರಿಚಯ ಸುಮಾರು 3 ದಶಕಗಳದ್ದು. ಅವರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ನಡ ಓದಿಗರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಈಗ ಮನೆ ಮಾತು. ಅವರ ವ್ಯಂಗ್ಯ ಚಿತ್ರಗಳಾಗಲಿ, ಕ್ಯಾರಿಕೇಚರ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಚಾರಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 1000ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲಾಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಕೇಚರ್ಗಳನ್ನೇ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಇದು ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಟೂನ್.
On my behalf and on behalf of all of us for the wonderful, the Kirigami art that he has presented to us. It's a treat to our mind and our eyes. I went through that and I was really marveled at it. I had no idea about what is Kirigami when he came and called me for. I had only understood origami. And when he remembers, I asked him, what is that Kirigami? He said, it has to be cut and then it has to be presented in a different way. Whereas origami, it was folded and done it. But here, as Mr. Lawrence beautifully put it across, it is a symmetry. In also what we call it as a folded, it becomes 2-dimensional, we can carry it, and also when it's open, it is 3-dimensional. It's so beautiful. I also invite you to present it at St. Ignatius College at any time, and we will give you any amount of support to show it to all our students. Small group of students are here, close friends of Mr. Sarwin and the classmates who continuously support him are here. I'm sure there are more number of students who also would like to learn from it, and they can take this art forward. Now, as I said, it's a privilege and honor for us to have such a kind of a student in the college to really do much more than any one of us. That's what we look forward to at St. Ignatius College. That's just not just doing what we expect them, even beyond our expectation. There are students, and recently we had Pratik's book, this was inaugurated at St. Ignatius College. There are other students who are extremely talented here. I know all of them, and also now Mr. Chandran's art is something very, very special to us. That really makes us very proud in St. Ignatius College that these kind of students make a difference in the college. It's not the students who come on a regular basis. I was just reading yesterday a book on 80-20 principle. That's very amazing. I had no idea. I had actually ordered a book on the 4-hour-a-week work. They say only 4-hour-a-week work is sufficient to show your efficiency. Along with that, there was another book comes to me, with 80 and 20. Instead of reading 4 hours a week, I started reading on 80-20. I was wondering what is that 80-20 principle? It is then took us back to Petro's law and all that. Very interesting in it.
So, my name is Sarwin Chandran. I'm currently a final year student in Kalashas. I'm currently pursuing my BSc final year in Physics, Computer Science and Math. And this exhibition here that I've organized is on a field that I call Kirigami. So Kirigami is a Japanese etymological word. Kiri stands for to cut and Gami stands for paper. So what you see here is basically like this variant of origami where you take a single sheet and you plot it out and cut it out and you create these 3D creations. So what you see here are basically my works of Kirigami which I've made over like the past 4 to 5 years. So Kirigami, the main principle of like making it stems from usually the planning phase of it is what takes the longest. So what happens is I take a single sheet of paper and then I start planning, okay, what sort of structure do I want to make and so on. And I'll have to properly like make lines on the paper and mark it out and also where to cut and where to fold and that sort of things. Now, as I like start developing the piece further and further, I like start to think of better ways, like what other folds could be made, what other cuts could be made, and finally, once the piece is ready, once all the markings are done. Now, after that, the cutting phase is there, where the cutting phase doesn't take a lot of time, but the cutting phase is where I just take a blade and just wherever I mark for cutting, I do it, and then wherever it's for folding, I take like the dull end of the blade and I mark it in such a way that the paper folds easily. And then after that, I just spend a few minutes in folding it in half, and then from that I can make these sort of pieces.